dollar. Then silver is being sold at 24.12. Then moving down to the energy market, we pick that of the natural gas. Natural gas is being sold at $4.61. We have coal is being sold at 193. Then that of crude oil, we have the Brent crude oil is being sold at $102.61 per barrel. Then the WTI crude is being sold at $96.06 per barrel. Then we'll move over to the industrial metals. So I'll pick just two. There we have the aluminium. Aluminium is being sold at 3,371. Then copper is being sold at 9,919. They will pick a few of agricultural products being sold at the international market. That of cotton. Cotton price is $1.22. Oat is $6.59. Cocoa is 1,671. Then we have the wheat, which is being sold at $291.25. That's what we'll take from the market price of certain commodity. We'll move over to the stock market. I may not be able to take that of the stock market, but in place of that, I will take our exchange rate at the dollar international market. We have the exchange rate between the naira and the dollar being sold at between 415 to 416. That of the euro is being exchanged at the market between 463 and 465, and that of the pounds is between 556 and 558, and that of the South Africa rand is between 27.6 and 27.7 naira to a South Africa rand. That's all I'll take from the market review. Here, before we move over to the next segment, which is going to be our discussion segment, I would like to take this review. We're all familiar with what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, and it has brought some concern. And one of the major concerns is the economic impact on certain nations. And I would like to bring this as information to us for possibly understanding or education. Nigeria-Russian trade value at over $2 billion. That's we're looking at about a trade of about over $2 billion at risk because of this trade. So trade between Nigeria and Russia value at over $2 billion is at risk as the war between Russia and Ukraine intensify. So Nigeria also stands the risk of suffering from significant food shortage and upstick food inflation pressure following the war which broke out last week Thursday. And I would like us to understand that there have been some sanctions placed on Russia. So the recent invasion by Russia has led to various sanctions by the Western economies, with trade and other agreements put on hold. For example, the president of France and Europe have placed kind of like a restriction on some of the economic and trade facility between the country and that of Russia. So however, Russian president warned business traders in the country to work in solidarity with the government, knowing fully well that further trade restriction is going to occur. But what is our take, talking about Nigeria as regards this war going on between Russia and Ukraine. So meanwhile, the recent sanctions are expected to affect Nigerians' import capacity, as Russia also plays an important role in our international trade. So Russia is one of Nigeria's top source for its imported items, especially food items. And if we take a look at it from a glance, foreign trade report from the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria imported goods value at about 813.19 billion, which is over $2 billion annually. That's between Nigeria and Russia. So that statistic from the NBS is being reported from January and September 2021, representing about 3.7% of Nigeria's total imports in the same period. So Nigeria and Russia have had a good trade relationships over the period of 9 months. That's from January 2021 to September 2021. Nigeria have recorded over 813.19 billion trade transaction between Russia. So what Nigeria imports from Russia is a question and something we need to understand, we need to know. So according to the Central Bank of Nigeria, wheat is the third most widely consumed grain in the country. That's in talking about Nigeria. So a further look at the data shows that Nigeria imports wheat worth over 128.1 billion in 9 months. That's about talking from that January to September in 2021 from Russia, while it recorded about 144.14 billion with importation in the previous year, that's in the year 2020. So one of the major products we import from Russia is wheat. So also Nigeria import different foods such as seafood from Russia, some of which include mackerel, meat, blue whiteling, and other fish, all in frozen forms. And this make up this statistics is coming from the fourth quarter of 2022. So Nigeria also import other seafood from Russia, and also we import some human vaccine for medicine. So what this means for Nigeria is that Nigeria is a huge consumer of wheat product, with its local production only accounting for 1% of the 5 to 6 million metric tons of wheat consumption annually. So that means out of the 5 to 6 million metric tons of wheat we consume in Nigeria annually, we produce just 1%. So the majority of our wheat consumption in Nigeria is coming from Russia. So the demand supply gap has necessitated the spending of over 2 billion naira on wheat importation annually, representing the second highest contributor to the country's food import bill. So I think it stands at the second highest contribution to the country's import bill. So the downside of the war is that if supply from Russia is being disrupted or being cut off for whatever reasons, Nigeria could face a kind of like a supply gap in this particular product. So I just decided to bring this information to us. So let's understand the impact of what this war may have on our local market, on our economy, that of the war between Ukraine and China, and Ukraine and Russia. So having that information is just for us to know what and how we are going to, as a country, to intensify our local production. But today on the program, we'll be looking at majorly one of the key sectors of the Nigeria economy, the key drivers of the Nigeria economy. I've been talking much about this small and medium scale enterprise, and these are people who are the major and the key drivers of the Nigeria economy. And we'll be looking at issues, how government policies affect the medium and small scale business. Go out there in the street, you see a lot of people in their shops a lot of people in the market, even funny enough, those selling at the roadside, trying to make ends meet. And based on that, we'll be discussing with somebody from the Small and Medium Scale Enterprise Agency of Nigeria, that's the SIMDA, who will be discussing with us and telling us more about the small and medium scale business in Nigeria, and what can be done to improve that section or that segment of the economy. And it's my pleasure to welcome to the studio, please pardon my pronunciation, Mr. Ibr92.5FM Olawale. He's a representative from the Small and Medium Scale Enterprise Agency of Nigeria, SIMDA. Am I right?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
My name is Mr. Ibr92.5FM Olawale. Thank you.
You're welcome to the program. And I would like us to look, like I said, and I've always said that in time past, that this small and medium scale business, they comprises or compose a very key significant role of the Nigeria economy or private sector. But I would like you to help us. Is there a specific database for these small and medium scales, or we just have them? Because if you see the way they are clustered around in the street, in the society, is there a database for them to accommodate their interests and to also to affect government's policies on them?
Yes, there's a database for micro, small and medium enterprises, SME, that represent the, if not the most important sectors in Nigeria, but that represent the 96% of businesses in Nigeria.
Wow.
The policy that welcome them.
Okay, and what you've been working with SIMDA, and I know SIMDA is a government-owned spender. Yeah, is a government controlled own agency. I believe the government have rolled out policies over the past period of time that affect this small and medium scale enterprise. So I don't know if you can give us an highlight of one or two policies. I know there's a nicer government COVID-19 loan and whatever. So what are some of the policies you've witnessed or you know that the government have wrote to support the small and medium scale businesses in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I could start mentioning the policy, I will try to shed more light on what SMEDA is all about. From the word SMEDA. SMEDA is just an acronym of Small and Medium Scale Development Agency of Nigeria. This is an agency under the presidency, under the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. It's going to be with SMEDA Act in 2003 to help to facilitate and stimulate and develop all small and medium scale enterprises in Nigeria. Nigeria government realized in 2003 that small and medium scale occupy the largest percentage of businesses in Nigeria, which create about 75% of employment in Nigeria, and brought about the policy.
Okay.
These are some of the policy government have made. The first one I'll mention is what we call OLOP. We call it OLOP. OLOP is what we call one local government, one product.
You're talking about one local government, one product. That means they are trying to facilitate production of a particular product per local government.
Exactly.
Okay.
We've been doing that over 4 years ago. We've been going to different local governments. We identify a product that is germane, it's common within the local government, and government will decide to give them a loan. The OLOP goes like this. There is a loan. Let me say a loan of 3 million naira. 70% of that loan, the cooperative we have to pay it back, while the 30% of the loan will be a grant. Government will also help in marketing of those products. This idea was getting from Japan.
Okay.
Japan own was one product, one village, but due to our technical and political reason in Nigeria, geographical reason, we place it at one local government, one product. We believe that every local government has one specific product which is more germane to others who have an comparative advantage over other products.
Does that have anything to do with the mines and steel? Because sometimes there are some local government that are endowed with natural resources. Do you look into that direction, or you just pick whatever you feel the people can do?
No. Like in OLOP, what we do is about the natural resources. We believe that every local government has its own natural resources that has an advantages
Okay.
to its business over the others. Like some local government have a very good landscape. I mean, a fertilized land. If it is cassava the plant in that local government, the policy will like pick a cassava, give you a loan so that you can get a machine, so that it will be a process. It will not be just ordinary production. It will be a processing
for that particular product. Okay.
And that will be different for another local government being picked.
So that means there won't be the possibility of having two local governments producing a particular product.
Exactly.
So every local government will have its own unique product. Okay. So that's interesting. That's a good policy. Yeah. But how far have the government gone with this particular policy? Because I'm getting to hear it for the first time. I don't know if our listeners out there, they've heard about it.
Okay. You know, like I said, OLOP is dealing with cooperative. The main reason they pick cooperative is they believe in cluster, in adding resources so that you can move. In Oyo State, we've picked over 8 local government that benefit from this OLOP. I can tell you confidently.
But you say we're having about 33 local governments.
Yes, it's gradually. Okay, every year we pick 3 local governments. We just picked last year, December. This year we are also picking another 3 local governments. And we always follow up with their progress in their businesses. Like I said, there's a grant and there's a loan. And there is no an interest rate in this kind of policy. There's another one we call conditional grants scheme. CGS, we call it CGS, but conditional grant scheme.
Oh, these are policy from the government.
Are policy from the government that are being implemented to help the small and medium scales.
Okay.
The CGS concentrate on the macro businesses. Macro businesses in the state.
That's macro. No, we have micro.
What I mean is micro. Okay. The small businesses that their lifespan is just around from 100 naira to like 100,000 naira. Government decided to give them 50,000 naira free of charge and register their businesses to make it more official. Is it the
government that registered their business, or
yes,
the
business? Government registered their business free of charge for them and gave them 50,000 naira grants.
Is it the same? Is it the same? No, that should be different from the one we've been hearing. The one that's more popular, the what they call trader money and the likes.
It is different. Okay. Totally different. People have benefited it. Throughout the local governments in Oyo State, you can have at least 101 micro businesses was picked across all local governments.
101
businesses.
What was the mode of selection?
The mode of selection is that we have many associations that deal with these micro businesses across the local government. We deal with them and we picked according to their businesses, because government really want a business that wants to survive and that had the passion and a real idea. That's why we picked them out.
So you pick, your selection is based on the association, a registered association.
Yes.
That means for you to benefit from some of this government program, you have to be registered with some of the association.
You have to register with the association. You have to register with SMEDAN. Yeah?
So that's 2 policies so far.
No, we have a lot of policies, like I said. Should I just continue? We have women self-employment. We have shift mind for schools. We have talent hunts for fabricators that we done. We have agricultural development enterprises programs. These are kind of policies we done.
Now, if you look at it from this aspect, I remember after the COVID-19, the federal government came up with a kind of like economic recovery program, and which was headed by the vice president. And there's this particular microfinance bank that was empowered then, and a certain amount was released to the CBN to empower small and medium scale. The angle I'm going first is, how come a lot of these programs are out there and the small and medium scale businesses, majority of them are not aware? Is it that it's being concentrated on some areas, or is it a kind of like information gap between these business owners and the and these government agencies who pioneer these policies? Or what could be the problem, or why is there this information gap?
Yeah, on this kind of, I'll just say the government, we did our best in the publicity of these programs out, and we are also appealing to all these our media houses to help in bringing these ideas out. When you hear it, try to share it out. And another thing is that all the small and medium scales, in any business that wants to survive, we believe that you have to seek for more knowledge. You have to seek for more information. You cannot sit back at the back of your house and you expect a miracle. Everything is all about you have to make an inquiry to ask more for, so that you can get.
Yeah. Now let's come back to small and medium scale businesses. I want to narrow it down to your state and Southwest.
Okay.
Do you have a database for the businesses in your state that you can boldly say, okay, fine, we have close to like 6 million small scale businesses in your state or whatever, or we have this particular database, or we have a growing database? This is a percentage is told us at December last year. This is the percentage we are projecting to have. Because if you look at your state, especially Badon, for instance, one may want to narrow it into 2 or 3 major economic division. Talking about, you have the civil servants who are the salary earners, then you have a lot of them into the small and medium scales. This one owns a shop, this one sells on the street. So is there a database to capture them? Because I believe with that database you can actually reach out to the people more effectively.
Yeah, presently as I sit down, I don't really have the exact figure of the Oyo state, but according to the Nigeria survey, we have around 41,543,028 small businesses, which is about 93%. But due to that percentage, we have just 94% of small and medium scale in Oyo state.
You say you call it again?
We have 94%.
94.
Yes.
So is that Oyo state is more concentrated with small and medium scales?
Small and medium scales helps in growing the Oyo state economy. That's why the state governor, Odushe Makinde, has concentrated and is pulling on his strength in growing small and medium scale, because he believes that is where the strength and the growth of the Oyo state lies.
Now, when you talk about small and medium scales, if we talk about data, and the data you showed confirm my submission earlier on, that these are one of the key driver of the Nigeria economy. And data is a very important thing, because Nigeria has been talking about GDP, and when we talk about GDP, we make reference to gross domestic product. And these people are some of the people that really stand there, because if you look at a woman out there in the street, she produces what do you call it, a liquid soap. That's her capacity. The fashion designer, there's a producer, because they produce clothing and they are doing it at their own capacity. Are there ways you feel the government can really help these people? Because most times, if you're talking about business plan, because you want to access government grant or loan, you must put up a business plan. The woman selling akara out there, how will she put up a business plan? What does she know about business plan? All she knows is just put her fry pan and whatever out there to settle. So how do you help, or how do you think the government can help these people in strengthening their business and taking it to a level where they can access some of these provisions being made by the government?
Yeah, thank you very much. In getting to the smallest part of businesses like akara seller you mentioned, that is where our agencies has involved in what we call entrepreneurship training. Entrepreneurship training is just a way of inculcating the ideas of businesses to all these small and medium scales, and we also give them a business support advice on their material, equipment, or what they can use, and how a small two or three businesses can manage their resources so that they can become one standard businesses, in which the cost of businesses will reduce while their gaining will be more, with more structure.
Is it possible in this Nigeria economy where most people want to get it all, like two people selling the same product, telling them to come together into a partnership? Human beings who want to how are we going to share the profit?
Yeah, that is the only question people always ask. Is it possible? It is possible. For a business to survive, it is what is engrossed more than emotions. You don't have to put an emotion. Business, when we talk about business is a business. It's different from your personal emotion or personal, if you really want to survive in business. The main idea of can you survive, that is the main reason business dies every day. That is why the owner of the business has a problem, the business has a problem. A business should be treated like a business. It is very possible. when we talk about partnership, when we talk about what we call an official partnership, where it is written, it is being signed, and all investment, all resources is being handled together, it is very possible. So people have been doing it. They have been coming to our businesses. Like we have, let me give an example. We have a fashion designers, two fashion designers. Two of them specialize on two different things. And later we realize somebody who has the money who wants to invest in business will only comply the three together to form a bigger business, getting a bigger space. Two of them being a specialist and someone doing the advertisements and getting more resources. With that, I can tell you the business is really doing very good.
So that's more or less like a diversification. Some two fashion design, one may be specialized in women clothing, the other one in male, or both of them can be in women clothing, but one on native, the other on English. Then the third person coming up with financial support. So it's more or less like diversifying, coming together to form something big. Now, what are the challenges, do you think, from your experience, entrepreneurs or small scale business owners face in Nigeria?
The first one I will talk about is work of finance.
Financing.
Yes,
is a major
access to finance. Another one is poor access to business development services. Inadequate infrastructure or cost of doing businesses in Nigeria, like the one we are talking about, fuel. And the third one is ability or lack of marketing strategies. These are kind of challenges business have been facing in Nigeria.
Now you mentioned something that really caught my attention. We know financing is like almost forever problem that business owners always face. You've talked about we've seen government rolling out policies to empower a business owner. Then the second one is the cost of doing business. As of today, doing business in Ibadan is very, very expensive. Number one, if you look at the power, we are just struggling with the fuel crisis, and also the IBDC is not forthcoming with power for business owner, and these are some of the factors that boost or raise the cost of doing business. What is your advice when it comes to cost of doing business? I remember there was a time they had a ministerial retreat, and when they did that ministerial retreat, the WTO boss, who was the former Minister of Finance, talking about Amutajero, was talking about cost of doing business in Nigeria, and he listed a lot of things: import duties, talk about taxation and the likes. But are small scale business exempted from tax, or is there a support program to support them to reduce the cost of and to maximize their profit?
Small and medium scale are being concentrated on tax. Their tax is very minimal, it's just a single digit, to enable them to boost out. And when we talk about the cost of living, like I said, cost of funding a business is very high cost in Nigeria. That is why we brought an idea of a kind of partnership between businesses. When you have a kind of partnership with the businesses, the cost will reduce while the profits always increase. That is kind of a way in which you can survive, because we know everything in Nigeria is being in the high side.
Yeah, for our listeners out there, you can be part of this program as usual. The studio line to call is 081-5192-5925. I'll take that again, 081-5192-5925. You can also call 090-2280-9257. You can also call 080-2280-9257. These are the numbers to call to be part of the program. We've been looking at the challenges, the cost of doing businesses in Nigeria. And if you find it difficult to get through with that number, you can also call this one as well, 090-5221-3356. 090-5221-3356. You can call any of this line to be part of the program. We're looking at the small and medium scale business in Nigeria. These are the key driver of the economy, and they've been very, very okay. We have a call. Hello.
Oh, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Hello. Hello, we lost that call. You can call on any of these numbers 0905 221 3356. We have another call. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, we are discussing about this small and medium scale. The numbers you can call in to be part of the studio 0905 221 3356 or 081 5192 5925 081 5192 5925, or you can also call 09022 809257. Now, we've seen the challenges some of these business owners face, and we've seen some of the policy. There was one you talked about at the beginning, one of the first policy, government policy to empower, especially I'll look at it more from the GDP aspect, talking about one product per local
government, one product.
One local government, one product.
Yes.
Now, if you are to look at it from that perspective, when you try to boost local production, because I believe that's one of the concepts of the government, to boost local production. What are the involvement in some of the government agencies? Take for instance, we have the Bank of Industry, who is a government financial institution. Then also we have the Bank of Agriculture and some other banks. What are their involvement, or are they just they are not part of this particular policy? Because we know the CBN have been part of this NISA government grants to SMEs. Are these ones part of this, because this production aspect?
On this one government one product is just a program under SMEDAN directly.
Okay.
It does not have an involvement with any other bank. After being picked, we partner with a microfinance bank in the area of that local government, which will disburse the money to the cooperatives.
Okay, we have a call here. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your name and where are you calling from?
I can't hear you, but I know you are hearing me. Give me this money for DT, Mr. Manan. The question you have mentioned to us, I know that I can do it well. You are talking about how percent of how percent that you are doing today is not successful. Situation does not okay, or is not friendly to business. You can hear now, the system we are now, this is what you are facing. Well, as I said, everything else. No, nothing like investment, all that. You can say that one. One that created industry. The created just for human being to use. Opposite is an opposite reaction. Why? Because nothing to be managed by the human being. See the way we are doing, no, from the headline. We are talking about Ukraine or Russia. So we try to get away, and we are depending on it. Is it a good thing? As Nigeria, as big as elephant, the reaction, I can see as a sarcasm. That is a kind of movement on Nigeria and our elected people to face, to cover their face. They go to that place, they see how how they are doing, how they are getting better. That's the problem. Look at where you are now. I don't imagine. I'm not a body. I need to see it. See how the day to hear you. What are you doing? You are eating this. You are eating petrol. And this time around, they don't make it to be easy for us. How can we not have a problem? This is small business. Cannot say. That's the problem. You don't see that the federal government today for the Christmas. But in order, everybody can survive on its own. Everybody can have something just this yes, but some of this is not there. Is it there? Today, we are battling. No, we are battling. We are really battling as if we are under tyrannic system of government, aggressive system of government. Oh, look, I don't understand it. So, they kick a cafe now. We need to ask them, what are they going to do again? Are they going to, based on the return results, I want to talk to our people. They should do the way we tell them.
Yes.
No, we are doing that they are eating. No, I tell myself.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Let people, they are here too long. I will do. People have to talk again. God bless you. God bless everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for that contribution. Yeah, thank you for that contribution. We have another call. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I am Primate Shitu.
Okay, go ahead with your thoughts, sir.
I want to appreciate the guest on the program. So I will not fly by not appreciating IPR who has made this information available. The guest must not go without paying for this information. Because ordinarily, it is the guest and the government of your state that is supposed to do a lot of funding to this kind of things he is trying to establish and introduce to all state people here. But IBL, thank you for what you are doing. That is another social service. I commend you. Our guest, I think I want to be one of those that will ask you to please carry our message back to Mr. Governor. That if we really want to do anything, government should not sink his hand into business. Government has no business in business. The government only need to create the environment, the enabling environment. If we start putting you on the hot seat now, are there enabling environment in the state that will allow an ordinary man to create a business and survive? Is there anything like that? And we treated the issue of security, the issue of energy, transportation, something to give themselves and they are giving money. Where did Operation Feed the Nation take us? Where did the answer take us to? Rural development for people in rural areas. Where did it take us to? Now, and those transports, you win. Where did they drop us? They all died naturally. So this one is another dead on arrival issue. And I think you want to put it from other angle. The total budget of your state. Is your state having the capacity through its IGR or GDP or the economic strength to do this for people right now? And finally, let us look at the issue of more bigger one, maintenance culture. Even if you succeed to make it to some youth now, when your government is out of office, what happens again? Do we have maintenance culture as a nation? Then when you look at the cost existing in Nigeria today, can business really survive? The cost of living now is so terrible. If you give anybody money now, won't it end up on feeding alone? So my dear brother, I think your comment this morning is a good one. But if SMEs or you want to assist people to survive in Nigeria, we must control a lot of things first before we launch it. The borrowing rate, the financial rate of borrowing. CBN was borrowing you money now. You know what is the rate? You know what are going to put on our security. These things are too big. So I think what we should do now is to go back to the government for your state and create it and allow individuals, market separate organizations, government business. Separate organizational government should do it. That is my message to you to back. Thank you, if you can do that for us. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much for those beautiful questions. That's quite much, and I believe our guests should be able to pick them one after the other. You have talked about the role the Oyo State government need or ought to play when it comes to assisting and helping small and medium-scale business in Oyo State to strive, because we've seen a lot of cases where people invest their hard-earned money into business, and all of a sudden a government project may just come on board and wipe them off, or something may just happen. Security, you made mention of security, because where a business environment that is not secured is something that nobody will want to go to an unsecured environment to do his or her business. So I would like to hear some of your thoughts to some of these questions being raised by our callers.
Thank you very much. On the first thing, talking about the state governments, I believe that the state government have been doing its capacity in making Oyo State a conducive way in where the small and medium scale will survive. It has been trying its best. Although the best may not be enough, but we are still asking for more. Oyo State is still doing it, and we also appealing to people that believe that security of a state belongs to everybody. A government have to do its own part, the people have to do its own part. Government are not spirits, and we own the businesses because Oyo State belongs to all of us, and we want our business to survive. We have to contribute our own part. That's about the security. On the issue of the interest rates, federal government is trying its best. Like, it's trying its best. The CBN just dish out a digit rate of interest rates. There's a loan, what we call admin loan, that is being collaboration between the CBN with Nicer Microfinance, but it's just a digit percentage. Why the commercial banks who always charge high percentages? I believe our central bank will also work towards it, and I also give the report back to our bosses at the head so that they can look into that. Thank you very
because
much.
that is a very, very important aspect, because most of businesses, especially from this small and medium scale, they strive on borrowed funds. They go to the banks. It's of reason I got to even understand that there's a difference between a microfinance bank and a microfinance institution. And microfinance institutions, they are more, and the reason why they are more is because most of these small and medium scale business owner can easily approach them, and one would believe that these microfinance institutions should be able to accommodate and help, because if this woman needs just 50,000 to boost her Akara business, and when you are going there with the interest rate and the protocol, it's easy to assess, but the interest rate is one of the most killing aspects that kills most of them out of it. And by the time, I've seen cases where somebody will borrow from microfinance A to pay microfinance B, and borrow from C to fund the business, and the business cannot even strive to pay that C. You're now looking for D to borrow to pay C. So at the end of the day, you are working. It's as if you are working for them. So what is there a kind of an advice that you think, because when you talk about interest rate, I know it cut across board. You talk about that of the CBN, you mentioned that of a single digit, and you also talk about the commercial banks. And commercial banks, most of the time, the bottleneck to access their loan is very, very tight, because they must also secure their loan. I think we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Ibr92.5FM.
Okay.
I'm calling from you.
Okay, go on with your thoughts, sir.
I appreciate the speaker and the laudable attempt the government is trying to bring people up. I am an optimist and I believe in the success of those programs. But these are certain things I want to suggest. Now, some of these ventures might require you having a place allocated specifically for that program. You can call it a production village or whatsoever, where you will be able to gather people of that place. It might be finding it difficult in getting accommodation or a place to perform. In two, there should be a transportation, call it probably a cooperative, where these people will be able to purchase all they need, and they will be able to provide a sales point for their product. Also, that when they are being monitored by government, and let it be established in such a way that changing in government will not end it up. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that beautiful suggestion coming from our caller. I guess that should be our last caller for today because of our time. I would just like you to just quickly wrap up your thoughts on some of these issues raised by the caller so that we will wrap up the program for today.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Wrapping up on the last caller who said about creating a place, creating a center. Government have been trying its place, like Smedan are able to.
Well, I would like to just interfere on that particular area because it's not really a commercial program, but I believe the government have their trainings or going on as regards that. But the other ones raised by what is it? What was it? Primate Shitu was talking about government creating a kind of like a environment friendly. You talked about the security aspects, and also let's look at other areas too in terms of like assistance being given by the government. Do you think the government is giving necessary assistance to these people?
Government is really having a lot of program for small and medium scale. It's just for the small and medium scale to key into this program so that they can benefit from it. And we are, like I said, thank you for the program. We are also appealing that if this program are coming up, we will be appealing to you, can help us in giving the public the feedback, the information, so that they can carry as benefits from our programs.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's much we can take on the program. I want to especially thank Mr. Olawale, a representative of SMIDAN, for coming for the program and how he has been able to inform us. I want us to understand that small and medium scale business, they play a vital role in our economy, and they are very, very important to day-to-day activity because a lot of persons depend on what they put out there to sell. This program is Economy Today, reaching you live from Impact Business Radio, and it comes your way every Monday from 9 to 10 a.m. in the morning. So I wish you the best of the luck. Stay tuned and God bless.